Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the streaming Wasteland here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And Happy New Year! This is the first episode of 2025 for my show, where every Friday I pick three streaming services and pick one previously released film off of each. And hopefully, by the end of this episode, you have a nice full weekend full of movies to go check out. And this week, I'm going to be talking about Amazon Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and Max. And we're going old school with some of these, and we're going to do a bit of carryover from the holiday season as I highlight on Amazon Prime Video 1946 Frank Capra's classic It's a Wonderful Life. And this is indeed a film that gets played on loop on television for the holiday season, and this Capra film is just as Capra as it's ever going to be. And we have the story of George Bailey, who is a young man played by Jimmy Stewart, who, wants to get out of his small hometown and keeps being brought back in as he steps up and tries to do good by his community, running a savings and loan. And this film tells the story of his life, and it's all through angels. And this is such an interesting film because it balances business, it balances religion, it balances fantasy, and it balances the holiday season. It hits all of those boxes in a unique, poignant, and moving way. This whole entire story of Clarence, this angel who's trying to get his wings, played by Henry Travers, listens to a fellow angel telling him the story of George Bailey. And we go through George's life and all the trials and tribulations of his life and everything that has happened to him. And it's a moving drama. There's nice romance. Him and Mary, played by Donna Reed, falling in love with each other. And this gets heavy. This is about a man who wants to commit suicide after his business rival, Mr. Potter, played by screen legend Lionel Barrymore, wants to take him out and report him because his drunken uncle, Thomas Mitchell, Uncle Billy, loses some money. This deals with suicide, but iconically takes him to an alternate universe where he was never born. And this is a film that's balancing faith, it's balancing what good business ethics are, romance, what it means to be an honorable human being, and the impact that we make on the lives around us. And we sit there and think, would anybody miss us? This is that story, and it's moving, it's poignant. This film is funny, it's hilarious, it's dark, it's dramatic, and it has so many great moments throughout. And this is a fabulous film that I even talk to students about in economics because it shows a great scene of a bank run and really is able to help visualize and conceptualize what the hell that means. But it works on so many different levels. It is an iconic, beautiful film, and it's no wonder that this is a stalwart of that holiday season. Now, for something completely different, we're heading over to Paramount Plus, and recently we got a prequel to this film, which was so weird, and I don't understand why. But this is 1968's Rosemary's Baby, and this is from director Roman Polanski, starring Mia Farrow as Rosemary Woodhouse, who moves in to this apartment building with her husband Guy, played by John Cassavetes, as they're trying to, start a family, and then they have the Cassavetes next door, Sidney Blackmer and Ruth Gordon's characters, who try to take them in and take care of them. And unfortunately, take care of them in some dark ways, as this is indeed, yes, this is the story of a woman who unexpectedly becomes pregnant, deals with a lot of strange things, and is indeed pregnant with the child of the devil. And there's a horrific sequence in this film of it's not a dream. This is really happening. And what Polanski's able to accomplish, building tension and suspense and a sense of dread, just the filmmaking, the production design, the performances from Farrow and Cassavetes and Gordon and Blackmer. You even have uh Maurice Evans and Ralph Bellamy popping up here, Elijah Cook Jr. There's some really talented performers here, even a young Charles Grodin. And this is such an impactful, haunting, and terrifying film that all builds up to one of the most iconic and unnerving finales you're going to see in a film. And the way this film deals with the occult and deals with supernatural horror and psychological horror and this whole entire idea of the antichrist and giving birth to the child of the devil is all the more haunting in this amazing way that this film all comes together. And Roman Polanski, not a great person, but he did make some great films, and this particular film for sure is fantastic. Mia Farrow really anchoring this one down and delivering a fantastic performance. One of those like performances that started the legacy of amazing female performances in horror films that will never get the credit they deserve, because it's horror, so it's a lower class of filmmaking, and that is a lie because this is an all-time classic. And let's head over to Max streaming service and let's get a little weirder. And we're going to be talking about 1979's Stalker. Now, my wife and I just finished listening to the audiobook of Roadside Picnic, which this film is based off of. But this film is most known for being one of the few films that legendary Russian filmmaker Andrei Tarkovsky created, this sci-fi journey adventure into this strange place. This film is such a fascinating concept, this idea that some alien zones have appeared on earth, and you have these professionals, these stalkers, who wind up taking people into these places and navigating them. And you have Alexander Dayanovsky, who plays our stalker, who brings a writer and a professor into this place. And this film deals with some deep, thought provoking, philosophical discussions. It is a very intellectual and just all around high brow science fiction film, similar to Tarkovsky's own Solaris. This does not make it easy for you. It is a fascinating film, though, visually, as we see our world in this desaturated, disturbing kind of grayish brown. And then you get into the zone and there's a richness. But this film is very cinematic, it's atmospheric, it is visual experience that brings you in, it drags you in, and you're lost in this zone with all the strange and unexplainable occurrences that happen throughout it. The sound design, the music, this is just an eerie, atmospheric piece of science fiction filmmaking that is very Russian. This takes its time. It is very dense. It is very dour. This is not a film that's like this happy go lucky, fun kind of film. It is a haunting experience. It is an eerie experience, and it's thought provoking in the way that it explores these themes all through philosophical discussion. This trio of actors, and this trio of characters that navigate this place put us into a situation where we have to unpack a lot, and what's real, what's not, what's the whole entire point of this plays. It is eerie, unknowable, and haunting, and just visually, it's so engrossing from the opening shot all the way up to the final shot. There's just incredible filmmaking on display in this film. It is a haunting film that will stick with you long after you finish watching it. It's not easy, but after time, you'll realize it's something worth it. But that is a wrap on another episode of the Streaming Wasteland, our first episode here in 2025. And let's do a little recap. We're heading back to 1946 on Amazon Prime Video for the holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life. then over to Paramount Plus for 1968's Rosemary's Baby, and finally off to Max for this classic Russian science fiction classic. We have 1979 Stalker. But thank you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share. What are some of your favorite, like, international genre flicks that you like to check out? What are some of your favorite psychological horrors? Or what's that film that you always go to for the holiday season? Make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is a wonderful place full of awesome content, whether it's about television, film, sports, music, physical media, comics, or just talking about life. A lot of great shows for you. And if you like our logo, go check out High Fly Creative for all of your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the streaming wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.